Hello, everybody. This is Ashish Joseph here, coming to you with the fifth episode of the Inside World, where we have Danny the Achayan right from Tiruvalla. Thanks, Danny, for coming to the show. How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, bro.
Thanks for agreeing to come on this, Danny. When I'm looking at Danny, Danny is one of uh, the most influential solo independent Malayalam rappers in the industry, and it's crazy that most of his content that he's put online has been having so much amount of traction in terms of the viewer base. And what surprises me about Danny is how he has managed to capture his target audience from Kerala with a niche proposition of rap and hip hop that he's brought in 10 years back. And even before the industry came to smell the storm of rap and hip hop in the industry, he brought in Malayalam hip hop in terms of gospel and different lifestyle choices that he had towards the industry. And thanks, Danny, for coming to the show. It's just an honor to actually have you talking about your entire releases and how your journey was. And before we start off, Danny, I just want to start off with the big question. Just walk us through how you found that scope of Malayalam hip hop and rap in the industry. Like back in 2010, everybody was going after the Malayalam film songs that were out there, and everyone was captivated by Bollywood. The indie music scene was technically non-existent. So, from your perspective, how did you find that market gap and come into the industry and write about Malayalam hip hop and rap music?
When I was doing music, I was not, first of all, planning about the market gap in it, but I was doing it for the passion. But later I started, making music and people started noticing it. So I thought, like, there's a scope in it. And when you said this, and I remembered when I was in school or something, this Bollywood music was like very on top. Everybody was listening to that. And I I used to say to myself that one day you see that the entire scene will be killed by hip hop or rap, essence, and it will take over. That was like a very mature kid saying, but I never thought about it until now. When you said that, I was like, wait, I was thinking about that. So 2000, after releasing my second song or something, after a while I came to know there's a scope in it, and you really can get into movies because I started following these Punjabi rappers and they were doing it. So
That's
yeah.
nice, man. So, when you've had a crazy experience in terms of traveling to different places in the country for education, and can you just tell me a couple of influences from where you find inspiration for your music?
uh, I actually, if I have to, if there are time periods for each musicians, like I
Hmm.
listen to this kind of genre for a while, for a long term, then I will be into that.
Yeah.
So first it started with gangster rap. It was all about gangster rap,
Okay.
and then different genres of rap, hip hop, and like singing plus hip hop, all this, like shiny stuff and stuff. Then later I got into rock music, a little bit rock music and things.
Okay.
Then reggae. For a while, I was addicted to reggae, man. I thought I am like a Bob Marley's next.
Yeah.
So
That's nice.
yeah,
When I'm actually looking at your entire discography of your songs, you start from old school rap, then you go into a bit of reggae, and then you come into an ambience side of soul and R&B, where you talk
yeah,
about. I think
it's
Umbly
indie.
Mamen was actually
It's indie.
one of totally different things.
Influence of
When I'm
indie. That
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I think when you're talking about influences, I think your influences ranges are very diverse, in fact,
yes.
because it's very evident in the type of music that you actually write. Apart from influences, I think when you're releasing a particular type of music for your target audience, it's the chances of that material to be a hit in the industry are very very slim, right? So but in your case, it's been very different. Like you've been releasing stuff on a consistent basis year on year, and you've always followed a secret sauce in the type of material that you write. And something that I've found is that you're very blunt. You don't care about what people think that comes out of your music, because I can see the transition from a good Christian boy to different stuff that you do on a day-to-day life, and how you came out of it, and how you have a new leaf and things like that. It's like you never cared about the opinions of people when you started writing your music. So just guide me through your entire writing process. What do you think? What was your secret sauce for crafting a niche product and releasing it in the market? And how did you manage to write beautiful pieces that stuck to the minds of your listeners?
Basically, when I was young, I was focusing more on love songs and all these club kind of songs, Then later I kind of hip hop was kind of influence of weed and marijuana and shit like. So I knew that it's a thing that nobody talks about. So I touch on things that nobody talks about. Like people don't want to talk about it. So I
taboo stuff, yeah.
Yeah, taboo stuff. So, but it's not too taboo. It's good for them, but they don't know it. Like they just don't talk about it. That culture has like really messed up our way of speaking. So these are the things I touch because I know that there will be a problem there. But later, I started focusing on myself. I stopped all that nonsense. I said like, you are the biggest source of peace you can write about, because I've been going through things that. These thoughts, and I felt like people should also feel me what I feel. But if I look at the marketing kind of things, like it should be different. I should actually do a different vibe. It's not about me and my personal feelings. It's about what other people want.
Okay.
So people want different stuff. They want something that is like mostly in Kerala for Indian folks. I think like breakup songs. Oh man, they love it.
Okay.
They love breakup songs. They want especially the men love to curse on women by saying like you left me. Like now I'm going to write a song against you, and people love it. That's another addictive thing of our people. Trust me. If I write a song for a girl, I remember this song called Canada Curry.
Yeah.
And that has more views and fans than the other songs.
Okay.
I feel like.
So is it based on your life, like Canada Curry?
It is 100%. I'm writing a letter to that girl. I'm saying like, girl, listen, this is me. So I'm basically showing her, dude, like, listen, my letter, there are, even you don't accept it, there are people who accept it. So
okay. Interesting.
Like a sweet revenge.
Interesting. Interesting. That's very interesting. It's crazy, like usually when artists try to come in the industry, they stick to one stance of this. So they're like, if I write this particular song, what do people think about me? And for you, it's different, man. You've been very real. You've been very blunt in your music, and you've been straight to the point without beating around the bush. Like, if you want to talk about Christianity, we talk about Christianity. If you want to talk about love failure, you talk about love failure. If you want to talk about drugs, you talk about drugs. The gap that I found out in one of the point that you just told right now. You said, right, people don't talk about these kind of stuff, right? The stuff that people don't talk about, and
there are people, but I mean, there are musicians who does talk about their personal stuff.
Yeah.
But not much. No, they're not famous.
True. If you're talking about all these things, you brought in content that was missing, that people don't even talk about or yet to talk about, and you predicted how the market was going to change. And that's like crazy, having your instincts tell that this is something that people want is something crazy. And I think you have that knack of it, and I'm actually looking forward to how your life progresses, because I'm kind of sure that I'd be able to relate to it in the first place also, and it's nice, man. Like when I'm looking at one of your biggest hits that are out there, Chathiyan Pacha. How do you translate it into English?
It's snitch. It's snitch marijuana.
Snitch green.
Snitch weed.
Nice.
Yeah, so green. Yes, it's green. Yes.
Yeah. So it's crazy how you talk about substances over there, and how you came out of it, and how it's not in your life anymore, and it's crazy. Like I think this particular song has garnered around 750K views on YouTube, and that's like crazy. It's not like a normal virality that you see in content that's out there. So just guide me through the entire progress of the song. The road to 750K on YouTube. Like, did it come as an overnight success, or just could you just
Nah,
guide me through the entire journey?
the actually I don't call it a success. When I was
Okay.
releasing, I thought like some people watch it, some people like it. But later on, years pass by, I hear from my other friends that they hear it from their friends, which you don't even know them.
Hmm.
And there are people who having your songs in a pen drive and shit. Like I was like, what really? Who carries a song in a pen drive? So after 2015 and 16, people started rushing into Chathiyan Pacha. They love it because for some reason I don't know, Malayalis are like more prompted to go into that,
Okay.
and its fame was already there from 2015, 16, and all, but that really went high after like 2016. I think 17, 18 or something.
Okay. So how many views did you have around at 2017 or 2018?
I think it was very less, bro. It was like 150,000 or something. I think
1,50,000 and
that is
750K.
not
It's a
that's not
crazy
less. That's not
difference,
less.
like, so
Yeah.
you're saying in a span of 2 years is where you found an inflow of 650K views that became
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
into your
yes,
entire
yes,
video.
yes.
So,
I remember. I
uh,
remember it was 8K. It was 8,000 subscribers in 2009, 18, mid or something, 18 or 19. I think 2019. From the beginning, it was like 8K or something.
okay.
In 1 year, it went 10K. Like
Okay.
I know it's not a big number for me. It's a big number. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, so when you're looking at content creators, right? So when content creators, you know, take their content very dear to them. It's like their work, and they're very much attached to it. So
Mm.
whenever certain content goes viral, they get super excited and they're like, how did this happen? Oh my gosh, people are actually seeing my content. I just want to understand, like, whenever certain content gets viral, people try to analyze, like, how did this become viral in the first place. Like, suppose if I'm
Mm.
getting like abnormal views, like you've been garnering like 250K views per year, leading up to 750K in 2020 to 2021, and you would have thought of a reason why it would become viral, right? So from your standpoint, in that 2 year period of time, how did that exponential rise in viewership come over that? Do you have some kind of a reason that you try to stipulate out of this thing?
Yeah. So, well, rap music started getting attention after 2018 or something. There was a movie called Gully Boy, and after that, people started loving it. Like,
Okay.
damn, especially the North Indian folks, they want hip hop everywhere. Even the people who don't listen to it,
Okay.
they started becoming rappers. In 2 years of span, everybody are rappers in every city.
Hmm.
So that movie have bring a big impact on hip hop, but the way the impact is going is not so impressible by the artists. Like
Yeah,
most of
that's
these
true.
artists who have come to 2010, they don't accept that. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we got a wave. Like like that is still going on. Like even the Bombay rappers like Divine, Raftar,
Hmm.
sorry, Emiwe Bantai. So these are the dudes, like they're getting like 30 million views and 50 million views, like in a month.
Okay.
So I think it's still there. The impact that is made by this movie called Gully Boy, that is still there. People are always accepting it.
One
Yeah.
other thing that I want to add to it is, after 2018, the algorithms on YouTube just totally changed. Like
Yeah, I think.
how they recommend videos have been totally changed. Like sometimes people have the weirdest video suggestions, but when you have like video suggestions that are like on the spot, it hits through the roof. Like suppose if you're listening to a couple of familiar videos, certain music gets tagged to it, and sometimes there would be a possibility that as algorithm changes through the years, the virality of your content also increased. Don't you
Yes.
agree on that?
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
but something that that comes right into my mind is, um, this was not an overnight success. This took
Nah.
years to actually build up. And something that an important lesson that I got out of this entire thing was, there's this YouTuber called Bu Nick from Mumbai. So
Unique.
he's a vlogger. So what he did was he vlogged like properly, like consistently, like regular in a regular basis, and he didn't care about viewership at all. But he made sure that his content was proper kadak, like the quality of the content and the relativity factor of the content, and the people around him supported him so much. So
Yes.
regardless of how old his content was, it took him 2-3 years to actually get viral.
Yep.
Right. So it's like, for every content creator out there, if you're actually really passionate about what you do, regardless of
Someday
someday,
you get it.
even if you feel that your current content has reached a peak, sometimes it may yet to reach a peak in the coming years, depending
Yes.
upon the quality of the content that's out there. I think
Yes.
for your case, I think you predicted the market in the coming years. You released something way early before it should have been, but
Yep.
you've managed to actually ride that, the general crowd perception of how hip hop was progressing in India. And you were one of those musicians where Nammada Swandam Tiruvallale Danny Achayan wrote the entire
Yeah.
virality coming out of it. So it's crazy, man. Like it's more like a reassuring factor for the other content creators out there, in terms of not to lose hope towards the end of the day, because as long as you're passionate and you're very dedicated to the quality of content that you put out, I think one day or the other it is going to come out, even if you feel that
Yeah.
it's not. So I think you're one living example of how things won't die out. One day it's going to break out of the internet. You just have to believe in how things would turn out in the first place.
Yes.
When I'm looking at your journey, one big question that I ask almost everybody who comes into the show is, if you could just go back to how things started, like as you started your entire musical journey,
Yeah.
like, is there something different that you would do in terms of making this professional, having a livelihood out of it? If you were to make a decision towards that end of it, uh, how would you actually do it?
Okay. If I have to make a living out of it,
Yeah.
man, if I have to make a living out of it, first of all, I have to go and do my sound engineering.
Okay.
you know, and I need to be a bit more professional and release music videos.
Okay.
Like if you want to be famous and things like shit, like so you have to have music videos that is having a good quality,
Yeah.
and even though you don't have good quality, if the music like if the crowd likes it, they will accept it no matter how
Yeah.
bad it
No.
is.
Yeah. True.
They like it. But still, if you want to be professional, you have to always stay updated and things like that. You have to stay updated with what is going on in the market and what are the new uh, you know effects you can add into the music so the sound much more better. And like you asked, if I go back to 10 years, like back to 2010, what would you do? I would release more than this, bro. I'll release a lot of songs, and
Okay.
I might do some videos too because if I started practicing making videos at that time, I would have been a pro right now. But
Okay.
I still stick to what I used to believe. I don't believe in release a music video and be famous. I wanted that fame without the music video because
Makes sense.
I believe that like they should visualize it in their head. What I'm saying, you should see it because what happens is when you like this is my perspective. Okay, so I'm not telling people to accept it, but
Yeah.
my perspective is when you release a video, most of the people are looking into the video, what is happening in the video. They're not listening to the lyrics. So that was a major problem of mine. So I said like no video. Listen, if you want to listen to it, then listen to it. That's it.
Okay.
So I'm not compelling you or telling to subscribe or do something. Just listen to it. That's it. So that was my why. But to get into the industry, you have to really work hard, man. That's a
Yeah. I think, summarizing what you just said, I think what you said was, you could venture into videos in an early stage so that you would have been a good video editor by now, at least.
yep.
I think it more translates into building a proper portfolio and doing your market research properly without being
Yeah.
stagnant in the industry. I think that's relevant to, I think, almost everybody in the industry. I think when I'm talking to a couple of people who've come to the show, one of the most important things that they've said is, building a proper portfolio. Like if you want to make it big in the industry, you have to have contacts. And when you come to contacts, you have to showcase your portfolio to them. Like if
Yeah.
there is no portfolio, it doesn't make sense. They don't take you seriously. You're just somebody who's just trying to have for your satisfaction
Yeah.
without thinking about it professionally. But yeah, great points, man. I think this is really nice talking about a look back into your entire 10-year career. But yeah, coming back to our last question for this entire session, Danny. So what's in future, man? Like what can we expect from you in the coming months?
Man, coming months. Basically, I'm sticking on some sad songs these days.
Okay.
So I hope I would make some happy songs the coming months. And the surprise is I might have to remove the a tag called rapper,
Okay.
because I'm doing indie music now. Like for
Okay.
a while, for just an album or something. So that album will be coming out. There won't be any kind of hip hop elements in that. It will be
Okay.
completely a different track, but that's just an album.
Okay.
And there
But
are
you are spitting rhymes though.
no, I'm not
Okay,
spitting rhymes.
that's very
I'm doing
interesting, man.
that's
Okay.
poems. Just like singing. You're just
Okay.
singing stuff like a poetic way of singing, like
Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. So
sing about sun.
you're kind of going into a mellow R&B kind of a stuff.
It's not even R&B. It's indie folk. It's
Okay.
and there's one more. The guitar, what we call acoustic folk.
Okay. Acoustic folk.
Acoustic folk. Yeah.
I feel you're predicting the market for like another 5-10 years.
I don't know. Yeah, the thing is, that's a vibe that you don't get in rap because everybody are rapping these days. No,
Okay.
I'm fed up of listening to hip hop. You wherever you go, everybody are like
Everyone is
rapping.
trying to, yeah.
So I want to change that style. I want to get into another. I want to try the other genres for a while. Then
Okay.
I'll come back to hip hop. Hip hop is forever. It's never
Okay.
going to stop. But
Nice. So you're basically saying acoustic indie focus is going to be a crowd favorite in the coming years, is it?
no, I'm sorry for saying that. No, it's not. But it's for a group of crowd,
Okay.
not for
Interesting.
the entire
Okay.
crowd.
Cool.
It's like for a group of crowd.
So what crowd are you gonna focus at this time?
I'm focusing on my own people who used to listen to me for 10
Okay.
years while,
Cool.
and I want them to accept it. Like, bro, I'm sorry, this is not
Okay.
rap. You have to accept it.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, they will definitely like it. Bro. It's all melody, they like it because it's catchy melody. But
Yeah.
like you asked, if it's catchy, they like it.
Okay.
They have. It should be easy to sing. Like, if you bring up like hard words, they won't get it. But it's just one word, like Srinath Basu.
Yeah.
you say,
Relativity factor. Yeah.
and they love it. They sing it. Like Podi Penne. Like stuff like that. They
That's
like.
I think it's nice, man.
Simple
Like
stuff
if you
get-
could predict the market 10 years before, I think you can predict the market now also. No, I think from what you said, I think what you're looking after is you're going after recall and relatability of your song in your future projects, I guess. I think that's a good direction in the first place, man. Anyway, but yeah, Danny, thanks for coming to the show, man. It's a great honor to talk to a fellow Malayali. Danny Chayan from Tiruvalla
You don't have to say
representing.
Danny, just say Achayan.
Achayan from Tiruvalla. But crazy, man. Thank you so much for coming to this. It's a pleasure to talk to you about your success through your independent journey as an artist. I wish you crazy collaborations in the future from a professional basis, and I hope to have you again on the show talking about your success in the next 10 years. Let's see. Take care, man. Thank you so much for coming for this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay.